Generative AI is changing just about everything we do, and cybersecurity is right there on the front lines. But this isn't just another tool in the toolbox. It's a whole new battlefield. So today we're going to break down how GenAI is playing this wild dual role. It's both the ultimate weapon for attackers and, at the same time, the most powerful shield for defenders. Let's dive into what's becoming a full-blown digital arms race.
And if you want to get a sense of the urgency here, just take a second and let that quote sink in. This isn't some threat that's off in the distance, it's happening right now, constantly, at a speed that's honestly hard to wrap your head around. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's the new, very real world we have to deal with.
And the money involved? It's staggering. By 2027, fraud powered by generative AI is projected to cost $40 billion. And that's just in the US. We're not just talking about some stolen passwords here. We're talking about massive, real-world financial damage on a scale we've never seen before.
So this really gets to the core question, the paradox we're unpacking today. Is AI the one setting all these fires, or is it our best hope for putting them out? And as you're about to see, the answer is, well, it's both. And that's what makes this whole situation so incredibly complex.
Okay, let's start with the dark side. Let's talk about how the bad guys are turning generative AI into a weapon. Because this is where the technology becomes a massive force multiplier for crime. And it's creating threats that are way more sophisticated, scalable, and convincing than anything we've dealt with before.
And the absolute star of this new threat landscape, the deep fake. At its core, it's just synthetic media. AI swaps out someone's face or voice. But that description, digital puppet, is just perfect. Imagine a puppet that can look and sound exactly like a real person, making it the ultimate tool for deception.
And what's just mind-blowing is the scale of the explosion. I mean, look at these numbers. We're not talking about small, incremental increases. Identity fraud attempts using this tech have shot up by 3,000%. Phishing, that's voice phishing, is up over 1,600%. This is absolutely exponential growth.
So, how are they actually doing it? Well, AI lets them perfect and automate everything. They can now generate phishing emails that are completely flawless, with perfect grammar, and send them out by the millions. They can create a voice clone of your CEO to trick the finance department into wiring money. They can even stage hyper-realistic deepfake video calls. Heck, they're even using it to build malware that constantly rewrites its own code to avoid being detected.
And this chart, well, it shows you exactly why our old defenses are failing. You know that common advice to just spot the fake? It's a fundamentally flawed idea. On average, human beings can correctly identify a really good deepfake less than 25% of the time. We are just not built to be the primary line of defense against this stuff.
Okay, but it's not all doom and gloom, I promise. For every new AI-powered attack, there's a new AI-driven defense popping up to counter it. This is the other side of the story. It's about fighting fire with fire and using the exact same technology to build a much, much stronger shield. This slide gives you a great before and after picture of what's happening in security. The old way was totally reactive. You had analysts manually digging through millions of logs, chasing alerts based on old preset rules. The new AI Native Security Center, it's proactive. It uses AI to hunt for threats on its own and analyze behavior to spot weird anomalies that a human analyst would never, ever find. And the results? They're pretty dramatic. In some of the highest risk places, these AI-led systems are hitting a 98% threat detection rate. Think about that. Plus, they're cutting the time it takes to respond to an incident by 70% and saving security analysts about 40% of their time on grunt work. This isn't a small improvement, it's a total game changer for efficiency. Another huge win for AI on the defensive side is this idea of shifting left. Instead of finding security flaws after the software is already out in the wild, when it costs a fortune to fix, AI agents can scan the code while the developer is writing it. They flag problems in real time, they even suggest the fix, which means security is baked in from the very beginning, not bolted on at the end. So what's really important to get here is that this isn't about machines replacing humans. Not at all. It's about creating a totally new playbook for how humans and machines work together. AI is making our skills better. It's changing the kinds of jobs on the team, and it's demanding a whole new kind of skill from security pros.
Yeah, the modern defensive team, the blue team, it looks really different these days. We're seeing all these new, highly specialized roles pop up. You've got detection engineers, whose whole job is to build and fine-tune the AI systems that find threats. And then you have threat hunters, who are basically digital detectives, proactively searching for hidden attackers using AI to guide them through mountains of data.
And to be good at these jobs, there's a new skill that's absolutely essential. It's not enough anymore to just understand networks and firewalls. The new baseline skill, the one everyone needs, is AI literacy.
So what does that actually mean, AI literacy? Well, you can think of it as a four-part skill. First, you have to know how to ask the AI the right questions. That's prompting. Then, you have to be able to understand and interpret the AI's answers. Third, you've got to validate that output, right? Make sure the AI isn't just making things up or hallucinating. And finally, you have to apply your own human critical thinking to make the final decision.
And the impact of this human-machine partnership is just undeniable. Get this. Among analysts who are new to the field, a massive 86% reported that using AI security tools improved both their productivity and the quality of their work. AI is an incredible force for closing that cybersecurity skills gap.
And you can see this collaborative spirit perfectly in the rise of the purple team. Now, this isn't a whole separate team. It's more of a mindset, a way of working where the attackers, the red team, and the defenders, the blue team, work together constantly. This is becoming essential because to keep up with the speed of AI attacks, the feedback loop between finding a flaw and fixing it has to be instant. The old way of working in silos is just way too slow now.
So, how do we actually win this thing? How do we come out on top in this new arms race? Well, it's not about just having more AI than the other guy. It's about using it smarter. It requires a whole new strategic focus on governance, on safety, and on building processes that can hold up under pressure.
And a really key concept here is something called GenAI guardrails. The best way to think about them is like the rules of the road for your AI. They're all the technical and policy controls you put in place to make sure your AI models are behaving safely, ethically, and not accidentally leaking sensitive data.
So, a really strong AI security strategy rests on a few key pillars. You absolutely need strong data privacy controls and content moderation to block anything harmful. You need defenses against prompt injection, which is where attackers try to trick the AI. And maybe most importantly, you need a human in the loop, a real person who reviews and signs off on any critical decisions.
And all of this really brings us to the single most important takeaway. In a world of perfect AI-generated fakes, the old way we thought about trust is broken. The new guiding principle has to be simple, but it is not negotiable. Verify, then trust. Any important request, no matter how real it looks or sounds, has to be confirmed through a different, trusted channel, period.
And that leaves us with one final, big question to think about. This technology is forcing us to face a really fundamental challenge. When AI can perfectly copy reality, from a voice to a video call, what does that do to our whole idea of digital trust? It means we have to redefine it. So the question is, what is that new